So this is a video I've been kind of sitting on for a while, just a fun fanfiction idea I've been really like sitting on since becoming a Warhammer 40k fan. It's a video I'm back to because God knows I always, you know, come back to ideas one way or another. Look at all the Universal Monster Disney AUs I've done. So yeah, so we're going to talk about in this, what this video is going to be is like a Warhammer 40k video regarding like a kind of Disney cartoon AU. I know for any new subscribers out there, this is what I do. This is how I do most of the time. So let's get started. So the story basically it's not so much one consecutive story. There is an overarching story, but it's more of the one character encountering all these others on their adventure. So the story is that Anne from Amphibia, she is in this universe a sister of battle, and she gets called in by the Inquisition because something has gone like wrong, and Inquisitor Ford has basically told her, look, you're one of our highest highest ranking members that's shot up. You're for being so young, you've basically shot up as one of the greatest one of the best members newest recruits we've had of the Sisters of Battle. But the problem is remember how you weren't alone? You had you had those other two, Marcy and Sasha. The three of you were like it was almost if you guys were like the Emperor's fist itself. We had such high hopes for you. And we sent you off on missions. You guys were winning us so many battles. And Anne's like, so what's the problem? And Ford basically replies with, the problem is we lost Anne and Sasha. We lost your sisters. And she's like, are they dead? And they're like, we don't know. We lost contact with the two of them because we sent them on two separate missions, and they haven't been, they haven't reported in. And while I don't want to believe they're dead, there is a high chance of that, but we need to recover them because they were doing some high-level research for the Inquisition. And Anne was like, yeah, what did you have them do? So Ford explains that he's like, look, we had them doing two separate missions. The first mission we had them on, in that one, we were basically like, hey, so Marcy was sent to, she was basically studying chaos. Her whole thing in the Adeptus Sororitas was studying and learning to better combat chaos, because there was this growing fear among the Inquisition that wasn't really warranted, honestly, that the Sisters of that the Adeptus Sororitas could be corrupted, just like like the Space Marines were. And Anne's like, that's stupid. There's only been 3 cases of corruption among the Sororitas, and even then that's not founded. And he's like, yeah, but we can't be certain, I don't know how to tell you. Ford's like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like, if Space Marines can be corrupted, and those 3 cases, even we don't know if they're real. But if one of your sisters became influenced by chaos, that would be horrible for the Imperium. And she's like, okay, that was Marcy. Where did you send Sasha? And Ford basically explains, we sent Sasha into the Octarian system. And she's like, you sent her into the Octarian system in the middle of Cryptman's fuck up? That's where you sent her? So yeah, we're in the middle of the Octarian War. The Orcs and the Tyranids are raging across the Octarian system, and Sasha went in there to give support to various soldiers. So they lost contact with her 3 weeks ago, and Marcy like 2 months earlier, and she's like, you never told me that you lost my sisters. And Ford is just like, you didn't have any, like, they were under strict mission, strict orders not to make contact with anyone. They were doing this was high-level stuff. We didn't, and also, we kind of decide what we can and can't tell you. I don't know how you think this works. So we're going to but we did slight you. Your sisters are missing, so that's why Ford is like, that's why we're gonna go you're gonna go and find them. So that's Anne's mission, is that she leaves into the system to go find Marcy and Sasha and see what has happened, and that leads to her going around each world encountering other characters. So from there, you have Dipper and Mabel, who in here are young. Yes, and the time has changed in between this video. So as I was saying, Dipper and Mabel are young inquisitors. In fact, they go with Anne on her quest, sent by Ford, to find the missing sisters. So essentially, this basically becomes like a road trip of encountering other characters, and some of them they encounter. I'm just going to go through a few of them. Like they encounter Penn from Penn Zero Part-Time Hero. Penn is he's a commissar, and he's almost like Kane. But he's not he's also not a coward. He's just more of I just bullshit my way to victory. That is how Penn do in his company, which he is the leader of a platoon of Katakan jungle warriors, and he basically just bullshits. He like bluffs and bolsters his way to victory. That's how he fights. Sashi is his right-hand woman, who's his lieutenant and a Katakan soldier, and she also likes to fuck him. Because she's like, I will break this man on my, I will break this man under me. And Penn's just like, okay, I'm totally fine. So there's that. Then you have Randy Cunningham, who is an Imperial Knight. He has served under House Cunningham and fights with a mech that has been with a Imperial Knight armor that has been in his family's home for generations. He is the youngest member. He is the last son of House Cunningham, which has been decimated by infighting, as well as during the War of the Beast. During the Wars of the Imperium Man, the Orcs trashed him during the War of the Beast, and Cunningham is the last, one of, if not the last, member of House Cunningham with his Imperial Knight and fighting for the Empire, fighting for the Imperium. Then you have other characters. You have, they encounter Luz, who is, in this continuity, a fire war. She's a member of the Fire Caste. She's a member of the Tau. In here, she basically, her family were members of the Imperium. Their colony got left behind, and the Tau came along and was like, hey, the Imperium left you. Why don't you come join us? And they're like, we don't. Well, we weren't asking. So they've joined the Tau, and now she's grown up to be a fire warrior, and she's even a member of the Far Side Enclave. They do see her, admittedly, Anne does see Luz as a dirty human traitor. She's now she's a xenophile for all she cares, and almost tries to kill her. But then they get attacked by Tyranids, leading to a team up between the two, and Anne just kind of leaving and just being like, fine, whatever. Tau can die another time, and you'll die later, traitor. You also have Amity, who is in here, who is a member of the Eldar, who is an Eldar. You have Willow, who is a botanist a botanist researcher for growing crops for the Imperium, and you have Hunter, who is a space wolf. Yeah, Hunter is a space marine. Gus is a member of the Raven Guard, and Marco Diaz is a salamander. Star is an Eldar. You have other characters who are members of the Eldar or fighters for the Tau. And essentially, the story does build to what happened to Marcy and Sasha, respectively. Marcy got a little too much into chaos. She was learning and researching about, chaos and all of that. And eventually it just got to the point where she became... she threw in with the Word Bearers. The Word Bearers discovered her, and she was like, oh my god, I was wrong. The gods of the ruinous powers are meant to save us. the God Emperor just, she learns about the whole thing about the God Emperor and Moloch and all, the planet Moloch and the deal that was made about the Primarchs and everything else. And she's just like, this was what it was meant to be. The God Emperor was their messiah, their herald. They're the real gods. And the word bearers were like, she understands the truth. Come with us. So now she's corrupted and like a member of the word bearers, and Anne has to kill her. And then you have Sasha, who threw in during the Octarian, when they go looking for her in the Octarian system in all of its bullshittery. They find her, and she's a war boss now for the orcs. Like the war got so bad she lost her faith during the war with the Tyranids and the orcs in the Octarian system, and she tried to find her faith again. But after doing battle with orcs, she found a place in fighting, and the orcs. She killed so many orcs in one day. They basically were like, "Hey, Yumi's pretty good. I don't like Yumi's very much, but she's good." So when she killed a war boss, she declared herself as a war boss, and even Gazgathal was like, "Hey, Yumi's got balls. All right. She says she's a war boss. Let be a war boss." Because Gaz was just like, "All right, fuck it, whatever." So they find Sasha, and now she's a war boss for. And again, this would never happen in Warhammer continuity, but fuck it. This is supposed to be fun. That's the whole point. So yeah, Sasha and Anne have to fight, leading to them fighting their way through orcs. And yeah, there is that. You have other characters who are, there's Stan, who was a member of the Inquisitorus, but eventually he got so demoralized by just killing people for knowing about chaos. He didn't become corrupted. He just was like, I gave up on the whole damn thing, and he fled to some far-off hive world to just chill out and just be like, yeah, I just couldn't do it no more. Yeah. So by the end of it, Anne's faith is shaken, because even her own faith is left shaken, because she's just like, I believed in my sisters, and this is what became of them. What is to become of me? So there's where it leaves off. It's just kind of a fun road trip with these characters and encountering all the other versions of them. So there you go, guys. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but now I finally had a chance to sit down and do it. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this story? Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.